like a slow song, is what I will do is I'll go up to the upper end because you get a different feel with that by going into the upper end. Okay.
So, like on the song I did last night, the fast song, it's 4 chords. It just changes the pattern of them. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and praise his name. If you played any modern worship song, it's the same 4 chords. 1, 4, 6, 5. And they just change, for that song that I sang last night, it just changes the order of them between the verse and the chorus. But the majority of modern worship songs, everything that you hear on the radio, all the contemporary worship stuff, it's all the same chord patterns. It's basically going to be those 4 chords. If you can learn those 4 chords in every key, or at least the Pentecostal keys, you can get yourself through any service. Honestly, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and praise his name. He's given 1, 4, 6, 5, and it just repeats over and over. The chorus changes the pattern, so it goes 1, 6, 4, 5. But you don't have to play a lot in playing fast songs. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and praise his name. He's given us his joy to share. Let us proclaim it everywhere. Now you could play, this is the day that the Lord has made. You could do a whole lot more, but you don't really need to play a lot in order to play well. So that, I think a lot of times, when I was growing up, I heard a lot of stuff. When you listen to a recording, you hear a lot of instrumentation, and you try to play all that instrumentation. There's a lot of people playing all of those different parts. They're all playing their own individual part simply, but there's just a lot of them. And it's okay to play your part simply and well. If you can just get the basic, hitting the chord right at the right time, you are well above a lot of people. If you can hit your chord precisely right at the right time, you are doing the world of music a huge favor. So trying to get out of your own head and saying, I need to put more in it. You don't have to you don't need all that.
It's fun.
It does sound cool when you're playing background music. That's where it really comes in. All the fancy stuff I do. That's behind the preacher when between announcements. But really for worship service, they don't care what chord you're playing. The focus is on the worship. It's not about your skill level. So you have to embrace where you are. And God knows where you are, and he has put you in that place for that time, and you play to the best of your ability at that moment. And don't try to be something you're not. Until God has opened your mind up and given you a more advanced skill, then you embrace who you are and what you can do. And what you can do is play a basic chord at the right time.
So notice, even without a drummer, what's carrying really the rhythm of this is his voice, is the vocals. Yeah. So he can get away with just holding this one chord underneath. So you don't have to do that. Imagine trying to do a windshield wiper with that song. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not making fun of that, but
I grew up,
Sister Edwards,
our pastor's wife, she could swing that left hand, and there were chunks of the piano gone where her fingernails had scraped scraped
She used
the
to
wood
break,
off.
she broke strings.
But I have no idea how she did it. I would sit there and I'd be like, and I cannot play my right hand if I just do it. I can't do it. I wish I could. And I've heard phenomenal jazz musicians that can play stride.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, but I can't do it. That's not where God has me right now. He gave me my own distinct style. And it is okay to have your own style. Do not try to copy where someone else is. Embrace who you are and what you can do. And as long as you're doing it from your heart, saying, God, I may not be the best, but you didn't need the best. You chose me, and this is where I am, and I'm giving this as an offering. And you know what? What they hear may not be what you hear. Because when you do it with a pure heart, His anointing will cover it, and their ears won't hear a single mistake you make. You'll have it in your head, oh my Lord, I've hit every single chord wrong. But the anointing covers a multitude of sins. In my playing, every single day, it covers a multitude of sins. My pastor loves it. He's like, you play flawlessly every single service. And I'm like, I'm so glad you're tone deaf because you don't have a clue. But you have to embrace yourself. Be okay with who you are and your ability right now. And play simplified. Just as long as you're getting it on the right beat at the right time, just play the chord. Let the drummer play the beat. And you don't have to worry about a lot of extra stuff. Does that help you?
Yes, and my question is when your husband's a singer, and obviously
No, you can't kick him in the middle of service.
I was going to say that not necessarily is he always a good bass player. I'll put it that way, and maybe he might be a little offbeat. Then I was trying to figure out how you could do a hiccup, to if there's a way that you can get him back on that beat, or do I just try to follow his beat? That's an easy question.
So I think
That-
Sister Samantha says we're going to cover this next year. It's really the role of an accompanist. Really deciding. In fact, we may purposely in our little worship session today, purposely make a mistake. We talked about this earlier. She may decide to come in early or late on something, and I'm going to accompany her, and I'm going to adjust her. You have to understand your role. Your role as an accompanist.
Okay.
Accompanying a leader.
Right.
If that's what you're doing, it's different. You have to use your ears and you have to change to what they're doing. And you try to do it without bringing any sort of, so the congregation doesn't even realize that you made a mistake. They're going like, oh, they did something new with that song. So really, the idea is just to listen, and if they come in on the wrong beat, you adjust to them. And you do it in a way so it's not like, don't do that again.
This morning, on Through It All, I was playing an introduction for Sister Harding, and she came in sooner than I was ready for her to come in. I was playing the last line of the chorus, and she started singing the verse, and I think we were through my trial will only make, and she's already singing Through It All. I've had many tears. You have to. This 2/7 did not naturally want to go to the 1 because my head wanted to take it to the 5, so I could work my way up to the 1, which is where we were supposed to start. She just started singing, and you just have to. All right, you're in charge, and I'm gonna just follow you. Whoever is singing the song is in charge. No matter what beat they're singing in, it's not a competition. And one of the key things, as a younger musician, I'm gonna tell myself, I wear my emotions on my sleeve. Well, okay, I wear them on my face. If you want to know how I'm feeling, just look at my face. It will tell me, it tells me all the time. You have to be stoic. When things are going bad, you can't let people, you cannot let your appearance show what's actually happening. You have to get to the point where she just started singing and I knew that's exactly where you were going.
That's right.
Even though I really didn't, but nobody's ever going to know because I'm just gonna worship God right now.
And the humble part about it is if there were a musician out there saying like, well, Jane just messed up. I mean, you got to make it look like, no, I'm just following. I'm going to switch gears for a second here and talk about, we hosted Sister Dee Dee